becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Today was 1 year since devastating wildfires ravaged Southern California. The Palisades and Eaton fires burned more than 37,000 acres and killed 31 people. Los Angeles Fire Chief briefed officials ahead of the anniversary, reviewing what went wrong and the lessons learned.
The outcome has made it incredibly clear that our mop-up and verification process needed to be stronger. We have to own that, and I do.
Events are also being held this week to help provide financial support for rebuilding efforts. Now to your morning rush. President Donald Trump says Venezuela is set to turn over millions of barrels of oil to the United States. In a post on Truth Social, the president says that the oil will be sold at market value with proceeds controlled by the U.S. to benefit the people of Venezuela and the U.S. This follows the U.S. capture of Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro and his wife in a military operation over the weekend. The Department of Justice has released more information about the man they say killed 2 Brown University students and an MIT professor. Investigators say the suspect confessed in a video that he had been planning the attack for at least 6 semesters, but, quote, always chickened out with earlier chances. He did not provide a motive or apologize for the attacks. And for the first time since 2013, the Smithsonian National Zoo welcomed 2 sloth bear cubs on December 7th. They just released some of the photos of them. So the sloth bears are considered a vulnerable species facing challenges like habitat loss and poaching. The zoo says that the cubs are born blind and spend most of their time sleeping. Their eyes are open. They open at about 1 month old. And that's your morning rush. Coming up at 8 o'clock, KGW Sunrise continues live on KGW Plus with a gymnastics coach now in jail. What former athletes are accusing him of.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
Good morning, I'm meteorologist Rod Hill. We still have the winter storm warning. We have snow-covered passes. This is up in the Cascades where they've had over a foot of snow at the resorts. But at hand right now, look at all the lightning with what is a second cold front that is coming inland. Recently, we were starting to get lightning strikes inland into the Tillamook Bay area. Here's the timberline scene. Light snow or flurries this morning, but heavy snow rates expected this afternoon. And for Portland, right now, scattered showers in the valley 42, but later this morning, certainly well before the noon hour, our first wave of heavy rain returns. It could have some hail, maybe even some thunder. We'll have more hail showers scattered in the afternoon. Here's Chris McGinnis.
We take you up to the mountain, a live look at Highway 26 near Frog Lake. Of course, you can see chains and traction tires required up there. Down low, we've had a pair of issues on the inbound Sunset. A crash near the tunnel just cleared, but right now we're looking at 33 minutes to get you in from Hillsboro. And a crash northbound on I-5 in the Terwilliger Curves has been cleared to the shoulder, but the trip from Wilsonville suffering right now at about 45 minutes.
Winter weather is finally making its way into parts of the Northwest. A weather impact alert underway for a winter storm warning in the Cascades, along with some heavy rain and hail along I-5.
And we are shin deep in snow here on Mount Hood with 15 fresh inches of snow pounding the mountain overnight. I'll tell you why skiers and snowboarders are pumped the season's finally coming to fruition.
And right now, the road to Tillamook is only partially restored while Washington County is declaring a state of emergency over Highway 6.
Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm China Green. On this weather impact alert day, we could be seeing heavy rain and some hail in the valley while it's still snowing in the Cascades. Before we head outside to our live coverage this morning, Rod and Chris are standing by for a look at your weather and traffic.
Thank you, China. Good morning. Understand this is a classic good Northwest winter day with all types of varied weather. We have the winter storm warning for snow out over the Blue Mountains and then up and down the Washington and Oregon Cascades. It's light. It's been flurries, now turning into light snow up there. Heavy snow rates probably not until we get closer to noon or into the afternoon, but they've picked up over a foot. They could get another foot today. Now, there's a second front coming in. That's this band of rain. And look at the little lightning icons. In fact, a lot of lightning icons, including in the past 15 minutes, the first lightning strikes to be detected pushing into Tillamook. So we're watching that storminess. Up at Timberline, by the way, with as much as 16 inches of new snow reported, the temperature has been falling all morning. It's down now to 19. It's a south breeze hitting the flag along the Willamette River in downtown Portland. We're at 42. Right now it's scattered showers, but later this morning, maybe as soon as the 10 o'clock hour before 11, our first wave of heavy rain returning. That'll be a narrow band, but it could produce some hail, maybe even some thunder. We'll have more showers and maybe hail mixed in this afternoon. Here's Chris.
Rod, of course, as you mentioned, the snow up high. We can take you there real quick. This is Highway 26, just east of the Highway 35 divide, just east of Government Camp, and you can see plainly that is snow covered. So chains or traction tires required for about a 25-mile stretch of Highway 26 from Government Camp to Warm Springs, Highway 35 included as well. Meanwhile, down low, we've had a couple of issues on Highway 26 and on the I-5 northbound drive. An earlier crash in the Terwilliger Curves has been cleared to the shoulder, but right now the trip in from Wilsonville is up to 48 minutes. The drive from Hillsboro, about 35 minutes on Highway 26 eastbound. China?
Thank you, Chris. Skiers and boarders were ready for the snow at Timberline yesterday after a late start to the season.
We were checking it the past couple days and it looked pretty bleak and didn't know what to expect. Thought it'd be maybe a little bit later in the season even, but it worked out perfectly for our schedule. So yeah, we were excited.
With another foot of snow expected today, travel will be tricky, as Chris was talking about. So if you're headed up the mountain or over the passes, have chains and traction tires like we've been talking about this morning, along with an emergency kit, extra food, water, and warm clothes just in case. And speaking of going to the mountain, that's where we find Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz this morning up at Timberline. Thomas, looks like you found some snow.
We found some snow, China. It's a little foggy up here. We were seeing some flurries earlier. Those have since tapered off, but of course we're going to expect to see more snow coming today. Now, Rod's been telling us, look, he thinks it's about 16 inches right now. I just wish there was a way to verify that if we had some kind of, oh, hold on a second. Nice handy measuring stick. Let's give this thing a crack, see what we find. That's pretty deep. I mean, this thing's like, you know, obviously there's already snow here, but that's a good 15, 16 inches. I think our man Rod Hill is onto something. And stop me if you've heard this one before. I'd say that snowpack, it's still heavy. So, you know, a lot more coming on the way here in Timberline. I'm also feeling pretty good right now. We've been up here all morning. The weather is dipping down. It's around 19. I'm thinking I'm pretty close to the summit, though. Maybe? So let's see how high we can go. I don't know how. Oh man, I am not able to hike up very well. This is knee-deep snow, China. This is no joke. This is a little harder than I thought it would be. Actually, I think we can do it. Almost. There we go. All the way up, China. Skiers, snowboarders, rejoice because we finally got snow. My IFB is flying, but here in Timberline, everybody is in a good mood. A lot to look forward to as they are all starting to trickle in and arrive for the snow now on the ground. China, back to you.
Thomas is out of breath, but he's our resident athlete. Thank you for that, Thomas. Hey, all right, you are taking a live look now from the coast from our Chinook Casino camera. That's where the National Weather Service has issued a high surf alert along the north and central Oregon coast and south Washington coast. People nearby can expect breakers of up to 25 feet, extremely hazardous conditions near rocks and jetties and minor beach erosions. So the NWS is issuing the alert for today and tomorrow. Stay with KGW as we continue to track weather impacts across our region. You can find the latest here or anytime at our website, kgw.com. Now to other local headlines. We are learning more about what authorities say happened the night that a 13-year-old was shot and killed in his sleep. Police say Liam Spanley Bailey was hit by a stray bullet in a Gresham apartment last spring. At a bail hearing for two of the suspects, officers testified that 5 people were meeting at the apartment complex to trade guns. Police say 2 people in the group tried to steal guns from other 2, which led to a shootout. One of the bullets went through a wall and hit a victim.
Certainly this is a chaotic situation where you have individuals that engaged in a lot of dangerous behavior, and then unfortunately a young member of our community paid the price with his life.
A decision on bail has been pushed to next week. Salem's City Council is holding a special meeting tonight to decide the fate of a newly appointed board member who has a criminal history. In 1994, Kyle Hedquist was sentenced to life without parole on aggravated murder and burglary charges. In 2022, that sentence was commuted by Governor Kate Brown. And last month, he was appointed to Salem's Community Police Review Board and Civil Service Commission, a move some community leaders opposed. Tonight, in a special meeting, the City Council is set to adopt a new process for criminal history checks and reasons why someone wouldn't be recommended. There are also motions to both reconsider and withdraw Hedquist from his roles. That special meeting is set for tonight at 6 p.m. at the Salem Public Library. Developing this morning, a Gresham gymnastics coach is in jail accused of sexually abusing 2 children. Police arrested 56-year-old Eric Stinson after they say former athletes reported they experienced inappropriate sexual behavior. Court documents list 2 victims under the age of 14 and allege that the incidents happened from 2012 to 2016. Stinson is listed as the director of gymnastics at the Northwest Gymnastics Training Center in Gresham. He now faces 5 charges, including first-degree sex abuse and sodomy. We've reached out to the training center for comment, but so far have not heard back. Portland police say that they've arrested a burglary suspect after a nearly 6-hour standoff in southwest Portland. Authorities say this all began around 5 o'clock last night when a man says he found a stranger in his apartment. He ran out, called police. The suspect then barricaded himself in a bedroom. Police say they were able to arrest the suspect just before 11 o'clock. No word yet on the person's identity. All right, headed over to Rod Hill on this Weather Impact Alert Day.
Just checking the National Weather Service latest messages and for any potential warnings associated with lightning along the coast, which we've had a pretty good outbreak nearing the coast and already inland up around Long Beach this morning. Here is that second front moving in right now. We had the first front of this roughly 2-day storm event that hit yesterday late afternoon into the evening, and then right here coming is the second front. Look at all the lightning dancing around. At times this has shown 71 strikes in the vicinity of our coast in a 30-minute period, and we've had lightning strikes moving inland into Tillamook. Snow is starting to pick back up again up in the Cascades. There's a strike around Tillamook. Here's a cluster 30 miles out to sea. So watching this carefully, because we have a history of these lightning episodes along the coast leading to, at times, little windstorms that move in, even water spouts or weak tornadoes. So be aware of what's happening in the coming hours if you're watching us from the beach. This shows that main heavier rain band in the 8 o'clock hour moving in to the coast. That's going to be happening soon. Here we are at 10:30, that same rain band now moving into the valley. We've had scattered showers this morning, but we'll get some heavy waves of rain passing. Could be some hail mixed in, and I think the best chance of lightning stays at the beach, but I can't guarantee that. Here's Snookwind's Casino Resort camera. And by the way, there is snow over the Cascades into Central Oregon. That looks like a few inches of new snow at Sun River Resort this morning. Portland's temperature is 42 degrees. Here are the temperatures later today expected. Low to mid 40s west side of our state, mainly 30s to no warmer than about 40 out east. Impact alert for heavy showers and maybe some hail coming later this morning through the afternoon. A calmer shower day tomorrow. I did check. So far, even the reports offshore with that lightning activities generally showing southwest winds off the coast to about 25 miles per hour. Chris?
All right, Rod, thank you for that. As we've been mentioning, of course, snow up high. That's a live look at Highway 26 just east of the 35 junction. So chains and traction tires required up there. Down low, we've had a couple of issues. There's Interstate 84 westbound, pretty slow out near 82nd Avenue. But an earlier crash on the inbound Sunset is still having an impact there. Your Highway 26 drive is pretty thick out towards Murray Boulevard. And also, I-5 northbound, we had a crash involving what looked like a tandem truck or a trailer here in the Twilliger curves. Now, that cleared a little while ago, but you can see northbound I-5 is still plugged up solidly for about 2.5, 3 miles there. So with that in mind, the trip run from Wilsonville is still quite heavy for this hour of a Wednesday morning drive. It's about 47 minutes now to get you from Wilsonville Road to downtown.
Thank you, Chris. A state of emergency issued along Highway 6. We take you there with the latest. Also ahead.
Venezuelan oil is coming back to the forefront amid questions about the motivation for the U.S. capture and removal of Venezuela's now deposed authoritarian leader Nicolas Maduro. I'm Alice Barr in Washington with the latest details coming up and the classified briefing members of Congress will get today.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Washington County is declaring a state of emergency due to landslide damage impacting Highway 6. It's an issue that began last month when a landslide forced the closure of a stretch on that road. Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson joins us live with what county commissioners are asking for this morning. Good morning, Corey.
Good morning, China. That's right. That state of emergency was declared last night during the Board of Commissioners meeting, and it went into effect immediately. Now, it came after Highway 6 closed for a short period of time last month due to a landslide and sunken roadway that cut off travel between Portland and Tillamook. Now, one lane has since been reopened. A crew told us about an hour ago out here that it's going to be down to one lane for probably another 10 to 12 days, so long as nothing else happens. Now, the Board of Commissioners is urging the governor and state lawmakers to step in and take action. Leaders or commissioners want state leaders to access any available FEMA or Federal Highway Administration money to help pay for long-term safety improvements they say could help to stabilize the highway. The board is also pushing for Highway 6 to receive increased priority so both state and federal funding can be secured sooner rather than later, a move that was specifically recommended in the Oregon Highway 6 Wilson River Highway study.
Highway 6 is in serious disarray, has been for quite some time. This Highway 6 is the #1 priority of the Northwest Transportation District. This has been a considerable concern for us.
Now, that state of emergency is set to expire on April 6th. It's a situation that we'll continue to monitor. Now we're going to turn things over to Chris for a look at the roadways.
Yeah, Corey, thanks for that. That is just one of the areas that is still suffering from last month's severe weather with the 2 atmospheric rivers that we got hit with. Of course, US 101 in Lincoln County down to 1 lane because they are dealing with landslides there near milepost 102. Also, Highway 22 up through the Oregon Cascades. This is near Mill City. Again, you can see they've got some serious excavating work here to secure this hillside. So a number of Oregon highways still impacted from the weather last month. OR 224 east of Estacada, by the way, still closed at this point. No ETA on getting that reopened. All right, to the here and now, we are snowy up in the Cascades. So again, chains and traction tires required on Highway 35 and Highway 26. Check tripcheck.com for frequent updates there. The rest of our drive is slow. We had an earlier crash on I-5 North in the curves. That has cleared, but that's one of the slowest of our commutes right now. Rod, we're looking at 46 minutes to get you in from Wilsonville, about 33 minutes on I-84 from Troutdale.
Thank you, Chris. It has been 1 year since Los Angeles County was scared by scarred by wildfires. The damaged people are still trying to repair.
KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
Your time now is 8:18. We're going to the man of the morning.
Thank goodness we have these impact alerts up because we have stuff happening all over the place right
Everywhere.
now. So let me take you to it. Chris has been giving you some traffic updates out in the Blue Mountains where there's also a winter storm warning in play. Here's the continued winter storm warning up and down the Oregon and Washington Cascades. Timberline reports 16 inches of new snow where they measure it. 19 degrees is the temperature. Been kind of a lull in the action, but snow starting to pick back up. Here you can see the warning, both Oregon and Washington Cascades. Heaviest snow rates today will pick up going into the afternoon hours. And I think this afternoon will quickly start stacking what will be another foot plus of snow hitting the resorts, and could be a good 8 inches of snow today at Government Camp, where they've had at least 6 inches on the ground, according to our Thomas Schultz, who was up there reporting earlier this morning. Snow levels stay well below the passes, as low as 2,000 feet at times today. Temperatures holding below freezing, obviously, at that level. And then for the valley, impact alert up until 7 o'clock tonight. So far, it's been just some scattered showers, but we are expecting several shots of heavier rain moving through. Could be some hail, breezy winds, and maybe even some thunder and lightning. Here's what's going on. That wind we had yesterday, we had a 41-mile-per-hour southwest wind gust at PDX early evening. Remember we talked about the winds picking up and the rain with that first front coming in? Well, here's the second front right here, starting to slam against the Washington coast, where we've had already a lot of lightning earlier this morning pass over the Long Beach Peninsula. You saw that. Here's a cluster of lightning. It's about just closing in on 30 miles offshore from Tillamook. We've had a few strikes right along the coast in Tillamook. So we're watching lightning activity at the coast because sometimes it is proven to be a precursor to what turns out to be some spotty windstorms or rougher weather than just lightning. So we're watching that. Scattered showers again currently in the valley. There's that lightning cluster about 30 miles offshore from Tillamook. All right, futurecast, 8 o'clock hour. Here's that rain band now approaching the north coast. Here it is in the 10 o'clock hour, around 10:30, moving into Portland. This will be a narrow, quick hitting, quick coming, quick going shot of heavy rain. Not a lot of wind, but noticeably breezy at a 25, and maybe some hail embedded with that. I think the best hail chance is actually this afternoon. Here we are at 2 o'clock. See these bright colors kind of scattered? Those would be hail showers embedded. And here is the heavier snow picking up in the Cascades this afternoon as well. We've already picked up in Portland 3/4 of an inch of rain since it started yesterday. We add another 1/2 of an inch of rain today into tomorrow. Here's the Oregon Veterans Home camera out in the Dalles. Winds are pretty light right now, including out in the gorge. You folks will get some rain today. You're at 36 right now, 41 in Salem. And here come our 7-day forecast numbers. The impact alert up through 7 p.m. for several shots of heavy showers moving through the area, maybe some hail. Tomorrow, it's just more typical showers, so no alert for the valley. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, right now all look to be dry. In China, that is your update.
Thank you, Rod. Now to an update on what appears to be a step forward of justice for the family of this tigered mother of 5 who was killed in a hit and run more than 2 years ago. A suspect has now been arrested after investigators say they had just enough information from the community to make an arrest. Alma McCarty has the update.
I'd always kept like a newspaper clipping.
That clipping affixed to the wall of a tigered police cubicle.
So I keep it at my desk, and it was just a reminder for me to make sure to follow up on anything that comes in.
Detective Casey Mace explains this was the longest open case she had. The hit and run death of Maria Negrete, a mother of 5.
I was really trying to make sure that I do my due diligence and get justice for the family.
Justice after so long without answers or even leads. Negrete died in the hospital 2 days after being hit by a car on Southwest Hall Boulevard, just north of Fawful Street on September 18th, 2023. Her family gathered there days later with this message for the driver.
He could have just stopped if it was an accident. He's just making it worse for himself. We just want justice for Maria.
More than 2 years on, investigators announced an arrest on New Year's Eve of 37-year-old Ashley Wolf. This after 2 breaks in the case.
In October of 2024, we had a tip come in that led us to the suspect vehicle.
Tigard police got a second tip in April 2025, corroborating evidence about who was behind the wheel of the car.
After that, we were able to do some more investigating, and ultimately we were able to forensically tie the vehicle to our victim.
Investigators emphasize how anonymous tips do make a difference.
Ultimately, that's what broke the case to us. If somebody has information, it's very important to let the police know.
That was Alma McCarty reporting. The suspected driver, Ashley Wolf, was arraigned in court yesterday and entered a not guilty plea. Now to your morning rush. This week marks the first anniversary of the devastating fires in LA County. The Palisades and Eaton fires burned more than 37,000 acres and killed 31 people. A year later, people in the communities are honoring the victims and holding events to help provide financial support for rebuilding efforts. And check out this video from Anchorage International Airport in Alaska. An ongoing winter storm there brought back-to-back records on Monday and Tuesday, with some areas getting over 9 inches of snow. The heavy snow did cause significant delays at the airport. And the Pentagon says at least 7 U.S. service members were injured during the operation that led to the capture of Venezuela's leader. 2 of the service members are still recovering from their injuries, and the other 5 have been returned to duty. One of the injured sustained multiple gunshot wounds to the legs, and the injuries were considered serious. And that's your morning rush. And after the U.S. capture of Nicolas Maduro, Venezuela now reeling with uncertainty after the U.S. left much of the current regime in place while President Trump insists the U.S. is in charge. NBC's Alice Barr has the latest from Washington.
In a new sign of the importance of Venezuelan oil, President Trump announcing Venezuela's interim authorities will turn over 30 to 50 million barrels of oil to the U.S. to be sold at market price, and that President Trump would control the profits to benefit the people of both countries. That as he praised the U.S. mission to capture Venezuela's now deposed authoritarian leader, Nicolas Maduro.
It was so complex, 152 airplanes, many. Talk about boots on the ground. We had a lot of boots on the ground.
Maduro and his wife now facing federal charges in the U.S., accused of bringing tons of illegal drugs into this country. While on Capitol Hill, Democrats are questioning the motivation for Maduro's removal.
The president, said this was about narco trafficking, and now he's saying it's about oil.
All members of Congress are due for a briefing today on the operation amid mounting questions about what's next, as President Trump asserts the U.S. is in charge in Venezuela, while the country's interim president, a close Maduro ally, insists no external agent is governing the country. Her government cracking down on dissent and detaining journalists.
Colombia agradece la convocatoria.
And across the border in Colombia, where President Trump has signaled he may focus next, heightened alert.
This sets a precedent that is extremely worrying because it threatens regional peace and security.
While European allies are voicing deep concern amid new details from the White House that President Trump and his team are discussing a range of options for acquiring Greenland, and that using the U.S. military is always an option, calling it a national security priority. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Crews are getting ready for the annual inspection of the Burnside Bridge. How this could impact your commute.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
Good morning, I'm China Green. In travel news this morning, the aviation firm Cirium reporting that if you want your flight to be on time, your best bet is to fly international. The firm found that international flights had fewer delays. Delta was also the top North American airline with more than 80% on-time arrivals. And the top U.S. airports for timeliness were Honolulu, Salt Lake, and PDX. All right, headed over to Rod Hill. Got a lot of weather to talk about.
Yeah, so we have the ongoing winter storm warning for the Cascades. Been a bit of a lull in the action this morning, flurries and light snow, but heavier snow rates will pick up going into this afternoon. Roads are snow-packed, as you would imagine. The second front is the rain now hitting the coast. And you see the lightning currently offshore from Tillamook. Overall, for our local area, the news is good in that the lightning activity seems to be easing somewhat, but we're watching your weather along the coast. Here's some showers out in Washington County from the Reserve Vineyards Golf Club in Aloha. Looks like it's pretty quiet currently. Not much wind out on the east side. That's Camas Meadows Golf Course. Portland's at 42. Our first round of heavier showers that could contain some hail will come in later this morning.
The time now is 8:30 on this weather impact alert day, where heavy rain and some hail is expected here in the valley later today. We're bringing you team coverage this morning. Rod Hill, Chris McGinnis standing by with your first alert weather and traffic. But before we do, we're going to go to a live look at Timberline Lodge, where you can see snow in the Cascades throughout the night, and it's expected to continue throughout today. It looks like conditions are looking perfect for some winter activities. So if you're looking to visit Mount Hood or the surrounding area, Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us from Government Camp with what you can expect.
It is early Wednesday morning here in Timberline, and the cars are starting to stream in already with 15 to 16 inches of fresh snow on the ground. I brought my KGW trusty measuring stick. You can see, I mean, this is deep, deep snow here. That's just fresh. This is, again, 15 to 16 inches reported overnight. And skiers and snowboarders across our area are rejoicing. We talked to a guy who camped out at Government Camp last night to get up to Timberline early this morning to hit the slopes. Here's what he had to say.
It's the first day I've been around that it's actually like dropped like a couple feet, it seems like. Maybe a foot, I don't know. I didn't really check, but yeah, it looks good. Just stoked for a sick day, and everybody needs to come on out here.
And I'm going to try to hike up this just a little bit to see how much and how deep this snow is. I mean, this is knee deep almost, new snow on the ground. Of course, there's already some snow, but that has been packed in here at Timberline Lodge. This new snow, once again, really bringing the ski and snowboarding season into full effect after a really lackluster start to the season. So a lot for people here to look forward to today. At Timberline Lodge, Thomas Schultz, KGW News.
I will tell you that Thomas and I are about the same height. So I'm looking at my knees, and that's about 16 inches of snow, which is actually what the report is from the folks at Timberline at the resort there. Another foot plus expected during the day today. It'll be this afternoon that snow really starts to pick up and get heavy again up and down the Cascades. Been a bit of a lull in the action this morning, but you can see some snow shower activity for the time being picking up. Again, most of today's, in fact, if not all of it, heavy snow will be this afternoon, or at least going into the noon hour. Now, Portland, Salem, we've seen some scattered showers. We're watching the coast because here's the next wave of action. This is a second front, moderate rain picking up from Tillamook to Astoria. You see some lightning offshore. Earlier, we had a pretty impressive cluster of storms that went over the Long Beach Ocean Park area, but the lightning seems to be easing somewhat at this hour, but note that we're keeping an eye on that threat. I mentioned Timberline, they've got 16 inches new. They're at 20 degrees with the winter storm warning currently in place all the way through the day tomorrow. Downtown Portland, south breezes, 42 is the temperature with scattered showers in the valley. The impact alert really gets going later this morning at noon all the way into 7 p.m. for what could be several rounds of heavy showers or rain passing, some of which could contain hail. And again, we have that lightning threat currently along the coast. Here is Chris.
All right, Rod, a reminder, of course, as you head to the higher terrain, change your traction tires a requirement on Highway 26 for about 25 miles from Government Camp to Warm Springs. Highway 35, of course, south of the Parkdale area, heading up towards the 26 junction. These change frequently throughout the day, so check tripcheck.com for the latest on the requirements. But just know this, if you're caught up there and you require assistance, or if you cause a crash or something, you could be cited for not being properly equipped. So again, those requirements are for good reason. All right, our latest trouble spot right there on the Banfield, Interstate 84 westbound. We got a disabled vehicle near Providence Medical Center right now. One lane is blocked and traffic is thick. It's all the way back out to 82nd Avenue now. So that drive has jumped up to 32 minutes to get you in from Troutdale. Meanwhile, an earlier crash on I-5 in the Terwilliger curves. China, that's out of the way, but that northbound drive is still suffering to the tune of about 47 minutes to get you in from Wilsonville.
Thank you, Chris. Washington County is declaring a state of emergency due to landslide damage impacting Highway 6. It's an issue that began last month when a landslide forced the closure of a stretch on that road. Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson joins us with what county commissioners are asking for this morning.
Well, that state of emergency was declared last night by the Washington County Board of Commissioners, and it went into effect immediately. Now, it came after Highway 6 closed for a short period of time last month because of a landslide and sunken roadway, cutting off travel between Portland and Tillamook. One lane has since been reopened, and a crew out here this morning said it's going to be down to one lane for probably another 10 to 12 days, as long as nothing else happens. Now, the Board of Commissioners is urging the governor and state lawmakers to step in and take action. Commissioners want state leaders to access any available FEMA or Federal Highway Administration money to help pay for long-term safety improvements they say could help stabilize Highway 6. The board is also pushing for Highway 6 to receive increased priority so both state and federal funding can be secured sooner rather than later, a move that was specifically recommended in the Oregon Highway 6 Wilson River Highway study.
Highway 6 is in serious disarray. Has been for quite some time. This Highway 6 is the #1 priority of the Northwest Transportation District. This has been a considerable concern for us.
Now, that state of emergency is set to expire on April 6th. Back to you.
And if you are planning to head to the gorge anytime soon, you'll want to be cautious. The Forest Service says while many trails are open, they can still be very dangerous. Recent storms have knocked down trees and saturated the ground, meaning there is still risk for landslides even when it's not raining. SNAP recipients in counties including Clackamas, Multnomah, Washington, and a lot more now have more time to report food that was lost or spoiled during last month's storms and power outages. Households in impacted counties now have until next Friday, the 16th, to report food that was lost during December 17th power outages. So if that's you, you can report losses by filling out a request form and email it to ODHS. Visit your local ODHS office or do it online. And for more details, visit the Oregon Department of Human Services website. All right, do we have more traffic news this morning for folks who take the Burnside Bridge? So listen up. Today and tomorrow, expect more bridge lifts than usual as crews conduct their annual electrical and mechanical inspections. The lifts will last between 15 and 20 minutes and will happen throughout the day, so plan your route accordingly. All right, your time now is 8:37. We have a lot to talk about here when it comes to weather and traffic. So first, we're going to start you off with some traffic and some drive times.
Yeah, they're up significantly. So trying to check this out. The trip in from Wilsonville right now is up to 47 minutes. So here's the deal with that. I'm going to go ahead and switch my slides here and show you. We had an earlier crash in the Terwilliger curves. That's out of the way, but it's over on the right shoulder, just north of the Terwilliger Boulevard on-ramp. And that's got traffic really thick all the way back to Capitol Highway. So that's slide number 2 right here. It's also pretty slow through the 205 interchange. So that's one of our big slow spots. The latest one to pop up is this. Now, this is near the 43rd Avenue exit ramp on Interstate 84, the Banfield westbound. It looks like somewhere in here there's a disabled vehicle that's got one lane blocked, and traffic there is really thick back out to 82nd Avenue. So again, as we look at that, your drive time coming in from Troutdale has jumped up over about 35 minutes at last check. So pretty slow on the roads heading into town right now. China?
Thank you, Chris. The last of the Oregon National Guard troops that were deployed to Portland by President Donald Trump have now been ordered to demobilize. The official order comes nearly a week after President Trump announced that he'd abandoned efforts to deploy the Guard in Portland, Los Angeles, and Chicago. In September, the Pentagon mobilized 200 Guard members from Oregon and 200 from California with a mission to protect federal buildings in Portland following protests at the South Waterfront ICE facility. But they never hit the streets. Instead, they remained in training while the case played out in court. A federal judge eventually permanently barred the president from deploying troops in Portland. Former Portland Police Chief Chuck Lavelle has a new job with the Port of Portland. The port confirmed it hired Lavelle to serve as captain on the port's police force. Lavelle became chief of Portland Police in 2020 and stepped down in 2023 to become the assistant chief. Last month, the city announced that he was leaving for another job. According to OPB, he started with the port on December 30th. The city of Gresham has a new fire chief. Chief Jeff Hairston will be the department's first black fire chief, and it turns out 2 decades ago also became the first black firefighter. We spoke with him ahead of the swearing-in ceremony yesterday.
Very excited. It's kind of a surreal moment coming through the fire service, not knowing that where I was going to end up, and didn't really have any aspirations to actually be in this spot. But you just kind of navigate through, because you want to see some change. And now I'm at the spot where I can actually make the positive change that I always wanted.
He says his first focus is to improve public outreach to make sure firefighters get into more schools, visit apartment complexes, and make sure places are as safe as they can be.
We're excited. Everybody's feeling healthy. Everybody's ready to get going, and we're going to see what happens.
The excitement is definitely rising as the countdown to the Peach Bowl continues. We'll have more from the team after the break.
Hey, our team tests tons of products. We only bring you the best, and you need these in an emergency. You will not regret it. These are Kato emergency radios, and they do so much more than that. Yes, they get AM and FM and shortwave and longwave, and importantly, the weather channels for those emergency instructions when there's a monsoon or a hurricane or a tornado outside your house and the power goes out. But let me show you some of the other features too. First of all, you can charge it with all these different ports, and you can also tell it, hey, I want it to take a charge, or you can charge your phones. You can charge your devices when everything else is going out. You can also charge this when the power is out with solar right over there, or I want to show you this. Yes, you can hand crank charge this, and I can actually see the green light going on, and you can see it lighting up. It's charging. It also has a flashlight right over here, and many other features as well. This is the Voyager Pro KA600. This is the Voyager Max KA900, tougher construction, dual stereo speakers, plays audio from a micro SD card or anything you plug in. You also get a digital tuner with a calendar, clock, alarm, and sleep timer. This is one of those purchases you need to make now, so when emergencies strike, you are prepared. And we have a deal for you today on this too. Both of these radios, 20% off, starting at just $75.99. You can't afford not to get it. Just scan the QR code on your screen or go to shoptvdeals.com.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
It's another weather alert day in the Northwest. It's not just in the mountains. We've got some stuff here locally happening.
We do. Let's start with the mountain. And this was the biggest headline yesterday because we need the snow so badly, right? And it's lived up to the billing so far. We're about halfway through this winter storm warning that actually extends into tomorrow. Now, Timberline's picked up with the first wave of snow that kicked up yesterday into last night, 16 inches of snow, 20 degrees. They have flurries and light snow falling up there right now. We think they will pick up another foot of snow today. There's a storm warning continuing in purple, Oregon, Washington, Cascades, and also out over the blue. So here we go. The storm warning, west winds, 12 inches or more expected at Meadows and Government Camps, Timberline, pardon me. Government Camp so far has picked up about 6 inches, and they could double that today as well. All right, now we also have an impact alert for the valley until 7 p.m. for waves of what will be some passing rain bands or scattered heavy showers, downpours containing hail. The thunder and lightning chance probably is going to be mostly at the beach today, and I'm going to get you to that because it's been an active morning for some of you up along the coast. So here's what's going on. See the little curl of clouds? That is the second front. Last evening was the first one. This is the second one. Look at all the lightning. My goodness. But notice, this will play you back the last 3 hours. Wait for it. Watch the lightning. Pop, pop, pop. At some point, we had 71 strikes in 30 minutes. But now everything seems to kind of be easing, and even the heavier rain rates are shifting north of Long Beach. So maybe we'll have a lightning threat here, and that's about it. The Weather Service for these clusters offshore from Garibaldi did put out a marine warning saying these storms potentially were severe with the potential of water spouts. So we're still keeping an eye on coastal weather. That rain band, here it is moving into the I-5 corridor in the 10 o'clock hour. This is 10:30. This would be a quick shot of some heavy rain passing. Some noticeable breezy winds, but winds really not a concern. And then this afternoon, see the bright color, the oranges, the yellows, those could be scattered hail showers with scattered downpours in the area this afternoon. So just kind of one of those on stable days. All total, another half of an inch of rain could dump in Portland's rain gauge between today and tomorrow. We picked up 3/4 of an inch of rain so far. Wet ground, but it looks like right now it's pretty quiet. Chehalem Tasting Room camera out in Sherwood where it's 42 degrees. It's 43 up in Astoria and Kelso, above freezing in Bend. Sun River Resorts picked up a few inches of new snow, it looks like. Baker City, 32 is the current number. Again, the valley forecast, heavy showers picking up as early as the 10 o'clock hour, and then we'll just be on guard for heavy downpours here and heavy downpours there. And I think some of that absolutely will contain some hail. Tomorrow, no impact alert for the valley, but there will be more shower activity. And then that's it. The rain chance ends Thursday night. We go all dry. I'm trying to get out Friday, Saturday, Sunday into the first part of next week. It is birthday time. All right, today's birthday party starts with Alice, who is 12 today in Albany. Happy birthday to you. And also 12 today is Morgan. Hope you have a fun day. And we have a teenager. We have teenagers, plural, Sam and Ben, both 13 today. Happy birthday. That's a big one. And then Kieran, Happy Valley, 22 years old on this Wednesday. Happy birthday to you. And we have Eve. So that's Chris McGinnis and myself. The birthday boy is the one on the left as I look at the photo with he's got a Yankees hat on, but whatever. Had a fun meeting them. That's at Chris McGinnis's kids' school. And we did Chris led the way of some science experiments. It was really fun. There's Jeff, 67 today in Vancouver. Happy birthday to you. And that's our list. Birthdays at KGW.com. And we'll celebrate with you. Here's Chris.
The pride of Chief Joseph Elementary School. All right, let's get you back to the drive here. Westbound I-84, the latest trouble spot with a disabled vehicle approaching 43rd Avenue. Tough to see from this vantage point, but obviously you can see the traffic. One lane is blocked there, and it's got traffic lined up out past 82nd Avenue. So the trip in from Troutdale is up to 31 minutes at last check. Meanwhile, earlier trouble in the Terwilliger curves has I-5 northbound really slow, about 2.5 miles back past Capitol Highway. So the trip in from Wilsonville also quite thick this morning, about 46 minutes northbound from Wilsonville Road into downtown. We'll be right back.
We are counting down the days, though, to the Peach Bowl, where the Oregon Ducks are set to take on the only team to beat the team this year, the Indiana Hoosiers. And there's a lot on the line with the winner going on to play for the national championship. Tim Gordon has the latest.
Just last week, a sweet victory in Miami. The Oregon Ducks defense shut down 4th seed Texas Tech at the Orange Bowl. And the Ducks offense, slow to start, got in its touchdowns in the second half.
Yeah, that trophy was super heavy. A lot of oranges, of course. But yeah, it was a great moment.
Still, offensive MVP Dante Moore said he wanted more.
Yeah, as a quarterback, of course, you want to get the ball in the end zone. You want to score touchdowns, put points up. But yeah, I mean, Texas Tech defense was amazing.
From amazing to so far unstoppable, Oregon now faces the Indiana Hoosiers, who have yet to lose a game this season, including the October matchup with the Ducks at Autzen Stadium, where Indiana did something that hadn't been done in a long time, delivering Oregon a loss at home. As players hit the practice field this week, that may serve as motivation, according to 2 of Oregon's top defenders.
So it was a good wake-up call, and I think the rest of the season leading up to this point is a pretty good testament to the way we responded to that loss.
Props to them for what they've done, but I definitely have my own kind of feelings about the game and that team and stuff. So excited to get out there and play.
Although the stats don't prove it true, there is a saying, it's hard to beat a good team twice in the same season. And Oregon is a very good team. Through all kinds of injuries and adjustments, they found a way to win. Kenyon Sadiq quotes the coach.
Lanning says that about every day in practice. There's going to be someone that shows up that hasn't all season. That's so true. So, there'll be someone this game that has a great game, but that just shows, once again, the depth of our roster, I think.
And now on to Atlanta and the Peach Bowl on Friday. The Oregon Ducks looking to keep climbing their way to the top.
We're excited. Everybody's feeling healthy. Everybody's ready to get going, and we're going to see what happens.
At this point, it's, win or go home. So, we're pumped for the opportunity.
And it's not just the Ducks that will be in Atlanta for the game. KGW sports reporter Orlando Sanchez will also be there. He'll be covering all the action starting tonight and throughout the rest of the week, all leading up to the big game.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
In a wrap of our top stories this morning, the last of the Oregon National Guard troops that were deployed to Portland by President Donald Trump have now been ordered to demobilize. The official order comes nearly a week after President Trump announced that he'd abandoned efforts to deploy the Guard in Portland, Los Angeles, and Chicago. This also comes after a federal judge permanently barred the president from deploying troops in Portland. And if you are planning to head to the gorge anytime soon, you'll want to be cautious. The Forest Service says while many trails are open, they can still be very dangerous. Recent storms have knocked down trees and saturated the ground, meaning there is still risk for landslides even when it's not raining. And Washington County is declaring a state of emergency due to landslide damage impacting Highway 6. It comes after Highway 6 was closed indefinitely last month because of a landslide and a sunken roadway between milepost 27 and 42. Now the Board of Commissioners urging governors and state lawmakers to access any available FEMA or Federal Highway Administration money to help pay for long-term safety improvements.
And 7-day forecast, the lightning activity we've been tracking along the coast seems to be settling down somewhat, but still keeping an eye on potential storminess there. That heavy rain band moving into the valley later this morning could have some hail with it. So we have the impact alert up for kind of a stormy October, March kind of day, if you will. We have all dry weather starting Friday into the weekend.
Okay, thanks for that, Rod. And a reminder, of course, up in the high country, trains. That's the second time I've said that. You might like to have a train to get over the high country. Chains and traction tires required on a 25-mile stretch of Highway 26 between Government Camp and Warm Springs. Highway 35, of course, from around Mount Hood Meadows up to the 26 junction. And just a reminder, if you're caught up there and you get stuck and you need assistance getting out because you weren't prepared, you can be cited for not having the proper equipment. That happens all the time, so I just want to let folks know about that. All right, Interstate 84 westbound, disabled vehicle near Providence Medical Center right now has that drive running a little thick. It's about 30 minutes or so to get you in from Troutdale. The trip north from Wilsonville has also been sputtering along a little bit because of an earlier crash near the curves. That crash is out of the way. The drive's still pretty thick.
One last thing to talk about today. It's safe and sound thanks to some Clatsop County firefighters. This pup got stuck over the weekend in a tunnel outside of Astoria. It was down a steep ravine with a flowing creek. The Lewis and Clark Fire Department came out with a ladder and ropes to climb down to the dog. They were able to bring it back up the ravine and get it warmed up and returned to its owner, the sweet baby.
Aww. Yeah, nice story there.
Thank you so much, first responders, for all the work that you do.
Even for puppies.
Even for puppies.
A reminder that you can watch Sunrise every day live here exclusively on KGW Plus starting at 7 o'clock. And we also have added another half hour of news at 12:30 and 5:30 right here on Plus. We hope to see you then. Have a great day.